my sister Leia's wedding, seated me in the hallway, beside the trash cans. Through the glass doors, the ballroom glittered with orchids, candles, and chandeliers, while guests posed for photos. The lilies and bleach in the hallway stung my nose. Mom adjusted her pearls. Dad looked away, and no one questioned why. I wasn't allowed inside. I'd driven 3 hours from Boston, replaying Mom's warning, "Please, no drama. It's Leia's day." That was always my role, silent compliance. The daughter who didn't take space. Growing up, Leia was the golden child with ribbons and trophies. I was the quiet one with good grades. No one noticed. At Thanksgiving years earlier, I found Mom's old journal, decades of entries about Leia, none about me. That was when I learned the difference between being forgotten and being erased. At the resort, the planner tried not to wince when she read my name. "Hallway seating," she said, as if it were protocol. I sat beside the service door, while staff rolled ice and linen carts past me, giving glimpses of the wedding I wasn't part of. When the door swung open, I saw Mom fuss with Leia's veil and Dad straighten his tie. The photographer called for the perfect family shot. I watched from the edge like I always had. Then, Leia came out, bouquet in one hand, veil trailing like smoke. She stopped just short of the threshold. Her smile was the one she wore before a performance. "Looks like they've finally figured out where you belong," she said. When I didn't react, she added softly, "Guess you don't count." I told her there had always been room for both of us. She was the one who kept shrinking it. Her expression flickered, then hardened. "Not everything's about you. Pretend to be happy for once." She walked away, perfume sharp, carriage perfect. When the door closed, I picked up the small silver gift box I'd wrapped the night before. Inside was a crystal frame, a folded notes, and printed screenshots. I hadn't intended to use messages from a coworker who told me weeks earlier that Leia bragged about how easy it was to manipulate Noah, how the marriage would get her the money, the house, the last name. I slipped the gift into the pile on the reception table, smoothed my dress, and walked out into the Vermont cold. From the parking lot, I heard applause. Then muffled music, first dance, probably a snow globe tableau behind glass. Then came a scream. Inside, a cousin had pulled the ribbon from the silver box. The screenshots slid across the table. Noah read them silently as guests circled, phones rising. Leia stammered excuses no one believed. Victoria, Noah's mother, said the screenshots matched the ones she had received that morning. My parents stood frozen, their silence louder than any defense. Noah placed the annulment papers beside the gifts. A crystal frame shattered. The music died. Dad said, "You should apologize to your sister." No one argued. By then, I was driving south, headlights on wet pavement, the ballroom shrinking in the rearview. I didn't feel triumphant, just clean. Justice didn't explode. It settled. Now, they see you. Back in Boston before dawn, my dress hung limp over a chair like armor I hadn't known I wore. My phone lit with apologies. We didn't know, but they had known every time. They told me to be quiet, to make room, to disappear. I booked a week on the Maine coast instead of answering. When the sun split the skyline, the air tasted new. At Leia's wedding, I was placed beside trash cans. This morning I sit beside the river. Same silence, different meaning. For years, silence meant invisibility. Now, it means freedom. Walking away wasn't weakness. It was the first time I chose myself. Tell me, have you ever had to leave your own family to be seen?